So and Dr. Ruth Ann sends her apologies. She couldn't make it tonight, but she'll be listening in from now, every now and again. And I'm gonna have my co-host, none other than, I don't see her on the line as yet, Dr. Joy and King Clive and Marva, and we have Mr. Townsend on, and the team is doing a marvelous job. So, without further ado, we're gonna get this show started. So, if you haven't told your person to get on, please tell them to get on, because the person that I'm about to bring on, this man, this young man, he hails out of Jamaica. And the first time I met him, he knew that he was in the end in Psyche Global. He was a gentleman then, he's a gentleman now. He was a cool guru then, he's more of a guru now. He is someone that you would love to sit at his feet and listen to what he has to say, about the microbiome and your gut health. And guys, most diseases start from in the gut. And this gentleman, this king of a man, has it so down pat, and he has information that you've never heard before, until he came and he decided to get some angels together and himself and say, look here, let's form the Psyche Microbiome Forum. And so we do this every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And he's going to tell you about a special call that we're going to have this Thursday. And that call is PG-21. So guys, without further ado, I would like to bring to the mic a gentleman who is honorable. He's girls, I'm sorry, he's married and he's taken. And he is so knowledgeable. He brings a whole different aspect of the medical field that you guys, probably some of you just logging in for the first time or the second time, you're just trying to learn about this thing that this gentleman says, and he says it so I don't even know how to say. He's so superb, and he's a poet in his own right. He is a man of God, and he has one of the greatest smiles that I've ever seen. So I would love to bring to the mic none other than the microbiome poet and guru himself, the one and only extraordinary, honorable King Clive Campbell. Have you made it to the call?
Very much so, Nurse Donnelly Adderley. You are so kind with your words. Wow. Thank you so much. I may need to walk with you to introduce me everywhere I go speak. You are so kind, but I thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, okay, thank you. As usual, we're going to start with prayer. And I just ask you just to let us quiet our hearts before the Lord. Oh Lord, so much is happening in front of us, before us in this world today, ladies and gentlemen. We got to just ask God to just lead us every step of the way. You know, there's a song here that became popular a couple of years ago in Jamaica. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. If that was true some years ago, it is even more true today. We can't even walk. We can't even move. We can't even live. We can't exist without God holding our hands. And in many instances, even lifting us up and carrying us to several points of destination in our lives. So let us bow our heads. So, Father, we thank you. Thank you for another night. We thank you, God, that as we gather before you, that you will warm our hearts at a time when the world seems to be very cold, when men and women, boys and girls seems to be dying left, right, and center. Many persons on this call may even be sad because of some colleague, some friend, family member, church folk, etc., who may have passed away or battling aspects of this virus even now. Lord, help us. We look to you. Be our healer. Be our source. Be our strength. Be our guide in these turbulent times. When all around us is sinking sand, Lord Jesus, you are the solid rock on which we stand. We look to you. We run to you. We remain in you. We ask these mercies in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, what a challenging time to be alive. What a period in human history. And we did not even see this coming. 3 years ago, we were basically sailing on with our lives, making our plans, setting our goals, trying to set different, but the disruption of disruptions came along. And last year we saw presidents and prime ministers of countries laying, trusting, and they were crying because they did not know what to do. Thousands and tens and thousands of their parishioners, members of their country dying, and they didn't even know what to do. But so these are unprecedented times. But we thank God that He has not left us without a witness. And there are remnants, people among us that is keeping the faith, companies that is giving us a new scope of hope to cope. And we continue to soldier on relentlessly. And we are not from the generation that gives up, but we will march on. March with us, ladies and gentlemen. March with us, friends. It's not too late right now to reach out to someone who may have forgotten to join in. Take 2-3 minutes, text 2 or 3 persons, ask them to make an effort to be on tonight, because the information shared might really be the one to make the difference in their lives at this moment, the anchor for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you. I want to welcome persons who are on for the first time tonight, and to welcome back those who have faithfully tuned into these calls. Oftentimes we do these calls every single night, because sometimes you go by the spirit, you go by the vibes, you go by what people are saying, asking, and you have always shined it in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that as humans, we may be living in the most exciting, intriguing, might want to say awesome, period in human history. And you may have some idea why I'm saying that. The truth be told is that we are understanding things about ourselves that some of the brightest minds, the greatest scientists, the who is who, many doctors who have spoken to thousands, if not millions of people, they do not know much of what we know today about ourselves and about how we function and how we are constructed. So we are living in the time of great revelation. You see, we are living in the information age. Information is king. And sometimes people ask me and say, Clive, what do you do? I will just teasingly say to them, I'm an information entrepreneur. Well, them sometimes don't know what it means, but it sounds like it's impressive. So, so okay, cool. Yeah, what I've learned some years ago, working along with a good friend of mine, Mr. Donald Suki, because we would read some of the same books, we'd have thousands of conversations as we butt heads on some of the stuff that's happening around us. And one of the things we learned is that we are living in the information age. And if you do not know the age in which you live, you are going to struggle. So, ladies and gentlemen, some of the most interesting information coming to us is that our generation may be the first generation to understand who we really are as humans. And this is quite an amazing time to be alive and to have this information. Because with this information, if we know better, we're going to live better, we're going to do better, we're going to be better. We are living in the most exciting time in human history. So this generation, you are among the privileged of the billions of persons to have lived and died. We are among the first to know. And there are billions of people who are yet still alive right now and don't know some of the information that you already know about ourselves or is about to know. You see, 1970 was a very critical period in human history in terms of deep science that was to be started. You see, some Japanese scientists, they made an interesting observation that at the time, the average American lived to be about 74 years old. The average Japanese mainlander would live to be about what? 90 years old. But then there is this island called Okinawa in Japan, that these residents of this island, they tend to live to be 100 more often than not. I mean, I'm talking about that they are sick and looking droopy, looking sad, and barely making it. They are 100. At the same time, they are healthy. So in order to find out what is happening, the scientists move on the island of Okinawa. And for 40 years, they lived with them, studied their lifestyles, habits, practices, customs, philosophies, and cultures. And they learned in that period information that is today benefiting millions of people and will continue to touch the world because they intend to be around for, say, at least 100 years and to touch 1 billion lives with this information that they have unearthed. Ladies and gentlemen, these scientists recognize that even though these Okinawans were saying 100 on their birth paper, when they studied the gut of these centenarians, it was looking like that of a 30 or 40-year-old person. They were blown away. And then they realized that there's something about the gut, as Hippocrates said 2,500 years ago. He said, all diseases begins in the gut. But then the Japanese discovered all health begins in the gut. If the gut is damaged, the body and the health is damaged. If the gut is healthy, then the body and the gut is healthy. So this discovery was a very amazing discovery in this particular period of human history. And even today, later on in the program, we are going to be learning about technologically advanced solutions, systems that they developed and designed to help us who are struggling with our health in the Western world in particular. That when we die at 60 and 65 and 70, they say that we live long. While in some countries, we will be seen and deemed as teenagers because them are live to be 90 and 100 or 100 and odd rapidly, very regularly, while we are leaving 20, 30, or even 40 years on the table. But ladies and gentlemen, the information that the Japanese scientists discovered about the gut is much of what I'll be talking about in the next few minutes, that we may understand. And this may be new to you, But what we are talking about tonight is validated in the last 15 years by 100,000 published scientific papers. So for it to be published, it has to be represented, meaning that they have to submit it. Then it is peer reviewed, and then it becomes published. So when we say 100,000 published, this is not anybody that's writing things and then it gets published. It has to pass certain standard and meet certain criteria of study by basic science in order to get there. So to have 100,000 scientific papers, then this is large. So what Clive Campbell talk about this evening is not something that he's making up, excited about, exaggerating. This is the truth, the whole truth that Dr. Bediadius, the CEO of Sankey Global, Sankey Mayor, said, if we are going to help people, we have to tell them the truth. So this company, you will understand, we're not into any hype. We're not like some companies that overclaim and underdeliver. We prefer to play it low. Most will say sometimes is bless it and take it, talking about their product, and see what the Lord Jesus does for you in bringing about some healing in your body. Because we understand that it is the body that heals. Nobody can make any product and come and say these products heal. No, Sankey don't think so. Only the body can heal itself. The most I can say is that these products may help or facilitate the body in healing itself by providing certain nutrients. And this is what we are learning this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a doctor by the name of Dr. Francisco Delgado. I'm going to read a quote from him. It says, bacteria in our body is actually an extension of the functions of our body, and they help us to maintain our health. Now, this is different from what we have heard in the past about bacteria, because all along we were taught to get rid of bacteria. And some of us now, our home is well equipped. We have all kind of bleach, all kind of chemicals, all kind of toxic substances for bacteria and microbes and germs. Because we have bought into the notion that the only good bacteria is a dead bacteria. So we use our money and buy different cans of stuff that says kills 99.9% bacteria. Or we have antibacterial soaps, antibacterial sprays, antibacterial wipes, sanitizers, all kind of different things we have in our houses. Until now, the experts are telling us that inside of our home is a more dangerous place to live than outside of our home, because we have made it toxic. Because based upon what Dr. Francisco Delgado said, bacteria in our body is actually an extension of the functions of our body. He's saying that the bacteria in our body is what helps us to function the way that we are functioning. They help us to maintain our health. Did you ever look at bacteria like that? Do you still attend the old school and have the old notion that bacteria are not good for you? I must sanitize yourself of bacteria. And some of us have a bath 2 and 3 times a day, brush your teeth 3 and 4 times a day, and we sanitize ourselves as if they say going with a style. We might want to rethink some of the stuff we are doing. Because when we understand our true construct, we realize that we have been misled and misguided by the powers that be. And therefore, we are in a quandary. We are in a dilemma right now because we have not understood the very body that we have for some 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 years. We may not have understood it. And that is why we may be living with some chronic disease. We may be living with some type of sickness. We may be having some type of issues in our tissues because we did not And even now, we do not understand the critical role that bacteria plays in our body. You know, 2007 was a major milestone year in the history of our human race. They did the Human Genome Project in 1990. But that study, unfortunately for them, did not answer a lot of the questions they were hoping to get answered from the Human Genome Project. President Bill Clinton launched the massive project because finally they said, we have the computing capacity to sequence and map the genes in the human body. They were very hopeful to find, say, 250,000 genes to be in the human body because they have studied other things like the rice plant and the earthworm, and those have 30,000 and 40,000 genes. So we must have about 250,000 or 500,000 genes. You see, when them done the study, they were baffled, dumbfounded, speechless. What they found, as humans, we only comprise 22,500 genes. Now, how this goes up? Them do it again, same thing. A scientist had to write to them and say, if you are going to consider human health, you must include microbes in the study too. And after they looked at it, reasoned it, they started the Human Microbiome Project in 2007, 2008. And what they found out was startling, mind-boggling, because they found out that the microbes comprise of more than 4 million genes. 99% of the genes being expressed in our body is from a non-human source. They were blown away. The balloon of their ego burst because they were startled that there are more microbial genes in the body. They had previously learned that in the human body, 110 trillion cells live in our body. 10 trillion are human cells and 100 trillion are microbial cells. So for every human cell, you have 10 microbial cells inside of our body. Microbes, they live around us like a cloud. They live on our skin like a second skin because every square millicentimeter of our skin is occupied by these bacteria and these microbes. So they live around us like a cloud. They surround us, they live on us, and they live in us. So here's it, where story come to bomb. They are now realizing that microbes are not annoying creatures. They are not to be seen as disturbances. They're not to be seen as critters and aliens and foreigners that come to disturb us and trouble us, and we must therefore try to get rid of them. What they realize, these microbes are really a part of us. We did not know, said Dr. Susan Lynch of UCLA. We never know. And she has been a doctor for 20 years. Them just have find out that we are mostly microbes. And guess what? So God designed the body. It's not some experiment gone wrong. It's not some infection or invasion or contamination. God made the microbes to be a part. So the very day that you were being born, and as you were scraping through your mom's birth canal, you were being inoculated by these billions and trillions of microbes that form a part of your body that would then train your immune system to function the way. See them there? Some of the bacteria we're talking about, these are part of our body, ladies and gentlemen. And we are just finding out. That is why we have been struggling with our health because we did not know. And even up until today, many of us, our doctor that we go to, still don't know this truth. He's still treating you as if they say we are mostly human cells and is prepared to even write you an antibiotic. And you know what antibiotics do? Wipe out the bacteria, they kill the bad and they kill the good bacteria and wipe out for many people the microbes that lives on us, in us. And that is why
Mr.
we
Campbell.
are sick. Yes, please, doctor. Nurse
Okay,
Adelaide.
Mr. Campbell. So, you know, when you say it wipe out the good and the bad bacteria, all right. So, in women, you know, so that's the cause for yeast infection most of the time, then.
Well, you're so correct. Because when you decimate the gut and cause dysbiosis, that is what they use. Dysbiosis, imbalance in the gut. What you find out is that the governance of the good bacteria to suppress the bad bacteria, it is out of whack, just like what is going on in Afghanistan. Bad man from out of town come over and take over the government. And all the things that the Americans leave down there, the aircraft and the tanks and the planes and the guns and the bombs, they take them over. So it's one thing for that to happen in the country, a country. But when that happens inside of the human body, in terms of antibiotics, it is caused an imbalance. When you take an antibiotic and the imbalance is caused, the pH of the gut changes because the good bacteria prefers a more acidic environment in which to live. When you damage the gut and kill off or die down the good bacteria, the pH of the gut changes, and those bacteria that prefer a higher level pH or a more alkaline type setting, they begin to take over what you call the pathogenic or bad bacteria. It is in the presence of these bad bacteria that Candida albicans thrive, these pathogenic fungus, and it gives women nightmare, chaos, and disaster in their health. And some of them have to go to their gynecologist almost every month for some pills and some potion and some lotion, and still can't get rid of the infection because of the good bacteria that has died down because of the overuse of this antibiotic. And as that happens, it's one thing for the overgrowth of candida, but in some cases, a lot of people pick up infections in the hospital system. A particular bacteria is the name of the condition, Clostridium difficile. That bacteria is a dangerous bacteria, and it is hard to kill, and it's very detrimental to a person's well-being. The doctors would then give that patient a series of antibiotics that decimate the microbiome in such a way that it leaves them vulnerable. And the microbiome is decimated and totally wiped out, as we would say in most instances. And those patients that catches this Clostridium difficile will then die from the condition. Some will be in the hospital fighting it for 3 months, 6 months, or 2 years, because what they get is constant diarrhea, and they will die because of the lack of these microbes that would keep and maintain the gastrointestinal tract. Do you know how they fix Clostridium difficile, of which 90% persons would die? Like every organ, the microbiome that lives in your gut can be transplanted. So what they do, they get feces. Well, quite likely they try to find a healthy, sort of quote unquote, donor. And through fecal microbial transplant, they would transplant the feces of one human being into the rectum of another human being to receive the gut. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, the medical science is there. Sometime within 48 hours, that person that was in the hospital for 2 or 3 years is now able to leave the hospital in 48 hours because the gut has been reseeded. The bacteria come back and multiply and take back control of the gut and stop the diarrhea and put the person on the side of health. This is how important microbes are. And what is appalling is that a system that has taught us to kill and damage and cause mayhem among the microbes do not come back and tell us that they have made a mistake. They are wrong and teach us the right thing. It's still there. If the Japanese scientists did not come and tell us who are talking today, we would still be in the dark. And that is what gets a lot of us upset. They are not man enough. They're not woman enough to come back. You know what is important to them? The almighty dollar. They would rather millions of us die than to tell us the truth. And many doctors right now as we speak are writing millions of prescriptions, prescribing antibiotic for someone that is going to decimate their gut.
So, King Clive.
Yes, Dr. Lady Dennis.
So, King Clive, what you're telling me is that, like for instance, when they say when somebody goes in the hospital, as you said, they pick up a hospital acquired bacteria. So, like for instance, something like MRSA or whatever. But you're trying to say because they actually give persons all of these antibiotics. When they say you have a super bug, it isn't the fact that you have a super bug, is the fact that your body, because you've taken so many antibiotics, your body is now so used to the antibiotics and the killing of the good and the bad bacteria that your body can't fight it off.
Yeah, you see, what is happening is that it really caused a decimation of the microbes that could help because they have died down. The truth be told is that of the approximately 30,000 species of bacteria that the science has identified, it's just about 2% of them are really what you call bad or pathogenic. And that's a whole for them, thank God. So the whole idea is the 98% that you call good or benign. Benign meaning that they're not really good nor bad, they're just there. But they still perform a role because they occupy a space so that the bad bacteria doesn't readily able to penetrate your body by like coming through the skin. So they're on the skin and it is occupied. So the transient bacteria that might be floating around come on your skin, but they can't penetrate it because it's there. So the idea is the 98% of good bacteria would suppress and keep the bad pathogenic bacteria in their place. That is how it is supposed to go. Because in every country, even in the police force, you have bad police woke-ups. But you don't call the entire police force bad because you have 2% that is out of order. What the system does is that the 98% put laws and rules and regulations in place to control the 2% that's bad. So when the good bacteria doesn't rule, the bad bacteria comes and dominate, and therefore it begins to cause things in the body like leaky gut syndrome. Because the microbiome is damaged, it's total mayhem. The gut begin to leak, content of the gut begin to go inside of the blood into the body and cause chronic inflammation, which now causes 95% of the diseases that inflicts man and the autoimmune diseases. The way to fix that, ladies and gentlemen, is to restore the gut microbiome. A healthy, vibrant, fit, up and running, plugged in microbiome will keep the bad bacteria in their corners, run the body operate normally, and you get rid of the inflammatory diseases like diabetes, arthritis, cancer. You can name them, call the name of them. And the autoimmune diseases like type 2 diabetes, cancer, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and multiple sclerosis, and all those other things. So it is critical that the good bacteria run and govern the body, and we do not interfere with the body by using, and even the Center for Disease Control in America said that 50% of the antibiotic prescriptions written are unnecessary. All for viral infection, they're writing antibiotics. And the overuse and overexposure. 70% of the antibiotics is used in the animal industry that they put in cows and in pigs and the chicken and those things. And when we eat that, we get the antibiotics and cause mayhem in the body. Also, all this toxic stuff causing disruption in the body, and the microbiome can't settle down. As soon as it tries to recover, another set of antibiotics come again, and total turmoil in our body. That is why the Sankey Global products are so powerful, because the Japanese scientists realize that if the microbes are healthy, the body is healthy. And that is why they make things like Asaki and Belage with these metabolites that are friendly to bacteria, that increase microbial diversity and restore the microbiome. I want to really understand what we have in our products, ladies and gentlemen, that the mainstream medical system don't even catch us yet fully. And those who find out don't have the will and commitment to come tell us. The scientists from Japan have come all the way across the Orient, from the Orient, and has given us this information. That's why we can't talk like this. And it cannot be refuted. And has given us a powerful system, two systems, the information and then products for your transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know what we have, you'll never sleep another night without these powerful solutions in your body, because you'll be vulnerable and you'll be living dangerously, and these bacteria can kill you even while you sleep. We need the protection that Sankey Global products give. I know Dr. Ruth are not on tonight to tell us about the Belage. You're going to take on the Belage, Nurse Adeli?
No. You know who I give in the Belage to? I give in the Belage and the in a 7 to the one and only doctor of nutrigenomics, cellular nutrition, the beautiful, the knowledgeable, the established, the wonderful Dr. Denise Joy Pierre.
Yeah.
Are you on the call? Come forth, Queen.
Oh my goodness, guys, you got so sweet, so kind, King Clive. I could have continued listening to you tonight. Listen, you have touched so many things, especially with that gut and changing of that microbiome, especially the pH balance that Ms. Donnelly was asking about when it changes, especially, dysbiosis and all of that in the vagina and even in the pineal glands. Wow. They have different pH balances, people. So as we're going on to the Belage tonight, well, let me see if I could do justice to this one as Dr. Rutan does. The Belage. We have been talking about immunity flow. We have been talking about the immune system. And folks, tonight, you see this Belage is our lightning energy. It's nutrition on steroids. Just before I came on the call, 2 minutes, I got a call that one family, an extended family member of my family, COVID and is out. Folks, this virus is no respecter of persons. And we got to have something that is going to keep our immune system, or T cells or B cells or natural killer cells. You might think that we're sounding like a stick record. Nurse Donnelly spoke about it yesterday in her meeting, why we need this Belage. This is not, as Master Clive said, we promoting or a company or a product. It is facts. It is science, it is nutrition, it is health that this Western world, now we have to understand the power of what we have. Orozoid enzymes. Folks, let me tell you something. These products and the formulations, I would say, is formulations for your body, for your flow, for your immunity flow, capable of acting inside the cells and mitochondria. You know what this does? The formulation of these products hit that mitochondrial, at the mitochondrial level, breakthrough. You know what is interstitial tissues? It means that it passed that blood barrier and head straight to the disease cell, or the cell at ease, dis-ease in the body, and start to correct its signals. Last night we spoke about the DNA, the mRNA, messenger mRNA, ribonucleic acid. Folks, those are, your cells are made up of these nucleus. And what happens? Any disease, any chronic condition hits that cell and hijacks it. So what it means, these inflammatory cells, inflammatory viruses coming into the body cannot produce itself unless you give it the opportunity to. So if your immune system is intact, guess what? The hijacking of the cells might be just 10% in your body. So you have 90% fighting chance against anything that comes into your body. And that is what our Belage does. Strengthens the immune system. Dr. Edie has put it across so nicely. That is why we can stand here in confidence, because I have studied nutrition at a cellular level. I have studied nutraceuticals that come and go on the market for the last 25 years. And I have never seen something like this. Tonight, I was going to put up 2 blood spills to show you what these products do in 15 minutes after using just Belage and just in a 7. Maybe in other nights we would do so. And it is 100% natural. Why it's 100% natural? You know, you hear us saying, well, I will go and get some turmeric, I'll go get some rosemary, I'm going to get some black beans, and I'm going to get some or the other, and boil them all up together and then drink it. Folks, you do not have the laboratory to work these products, or to get the oils, the extracts from these products from the plants. What it is, it simply is plant-based. So you are getting the antioxidant components from the olive, which they are extracting the oils from it, and they are extracting what we call the bacteria from these plants. So you're not only getting, as Master Clive just spoke about, the microbiome that grows with these trees, on these trees and these plants, just like you have it in your human body. So you are getting the ancient of days formulations within your system. So what it does, it extracts it and it brings it into that potency. So when it gets into the cells, there is nothing preservative or anything that can hamper when it hits those cells, because your cells change according to its environment. So anything that you put into those cells will change it to a point. So what do you want change? You want to give it the signal so that it can create the right environment to help break down whatever inflammatory responses you may have in your body. And I don't care whether it's cancer, I don't care whether it's COVID, I don't care whether it's SARS, I don't care whether it's MERS, I don't care whether it's autoimmune, lupus, whatever. Master Clive spoke to us. Information is very important in understanding the science behind things. You know, so when these go into your cells, there's something called exosomes, which is an extraction from the Belage that the formulation by AI has given the right amount for the body to absorb. And that is what we are getting, the full potency, so the body can absorb it. So here's what, when anything hits the cells and it is not in line with the mRNA, which is the messenger, exosomes stop it right there in your tracks. So it cannot replicate and produce anything that is going to damage the cells. So it gives the energy production in the cells, so it can reactivate natural antioxidants in the body and hydrate the body at that cellular level. That's what it simply means. So all of these products forces one to drink water because you feel very thirsty. And that is a wonderful thing in formulations, because I have, been interacting with formulations. And when they make you to drink water, what that tells you is that it's cleansing the oxidation from the body, oxidative particles that comes into the system that breaks down the body and damage it. So it filters it out. And a lot of people, when they go on these supplements, they tend to feel stagnated, cranky, crashy, painful. You know why? Because the toxins are loading in your lymphatic system and it needs to drain out. That's why, hence the reason you need to drink water if you don't feel thirsty. But these products force you to drink water. So the thirst in itself, when you drink, it is telling you that it's flushing. Ain't this wonderful and marvelous? Because the creator knew that we wouldn't even be drinking water. We just drink 2 pack of Bilage and that's it. But you need to flush. Drinking that alone is not enough, suffice to hydrate the cells, right? It decreases fats and sugars, improving blood circulation. The ONR, right, is a bicomposite formulated to add weight loss. So it reduces the digestion of dietary carbs. So it curbs the carbs and the lipids and all of these things that comes into the body. So what it does, it helps the body. It inhibits the enzymic digestion of polysaccharides, which will cause you to gain glucose, gain carbs. Carbs, in turn produces glucose in the body when it's not digested. So this is what it does within the system, improves blood circulation at the microcirculation level. So folks, this is what is our flagship product. And yes, it does all of these things in your system, energize the body, protects the gastrointestinal tract from oxidative stress. Master Clive talk about the intestines and the bacteria and our microbiome, which is our second brain. Take notes, people. So as we go on, I will do my other inner 7, which is balance and connect. Do you know the picture on our last slide, on our last screen for the inner 7, balance and connect? What it means, it's bringing back the total energetic balance from the energies around you. It causes you to relax when you go into that state of meditation and so forth. That is what the inner 7 does. It actually, our body is loaded, needs minerals to keep them alive, to keep the cells working, to keep them functioning, the machinery in your body. So if you do not have minerals in your body, your blood cells cannot do digestion, it cannot do metabolizing, it cannot repair, it cannot even rejuvenate the body. So the cells need these minerals to do what is needed. As we get younger, I normally say our body depletes our stem cell activities. There is something called the telomere in our cells, which when picture an X, it's like an X chromosome. When it gets shorter and shorter, the tail ends, and when it gets shorter and shorter, it means your body is dying, it's degenerating. Folks, I can tell you, when I see a blood spill on a slide, I can tell you how fast you're living and how fast you are dying by the look of these types of cells within your body. Yes, that is how we know when our body is going into that degenerative state. So without magnesium, which is one of the 4 main mineral in the body, helps to repair, rejuvenate the body, digestion, energize, energy as well. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, zinc, selenium, copper, all of these minerals, to name a few, because the inner 7 has over 60 plus minerals, but these are the main ones we speak about most times because those are really the building blocks. We heard earlier on in our session on Monday with Nurse Donnelly, when she said, you do zinc, you do magnesium, you do calcium, you do vitamin C, all of these things to get the body in a certain, immune state where you can start the immunity going, flow in the system. So these, it's 100% natural, folks, improves your natural defense mechanism, great for your T cells and B cells, your fighter cells, because these are where those are your sentinels in your body. They help you to buffer against anything that comes into your system. And remember, the first line of entry for any bacteria, anything, is through your nostrils and through your mouth. And those are the mucus pathways, membranes that traps these viruses. So when they get into there, as Master Clive spoke earlier on, these microbiomes inside the nostrils and in the mouth and in tonsils sends the signals to the gut to say, wow, something is coming in there. Let's start to get those little sentinels back up and start to go through the body and say, it ain't going further than that. So if those things are not, our frontliner defense is not equipped, then we have an issue, because then it will find its way to the pathways, to the lungs, and then it will spread throughout the entire system. So this is why we need the balance of these minerals in our body. It contributes to your pH balance as well. Calcium helps to balance the body back from acidity to alkalinity, stimulates relaxation and revitalization, relax you, help you with all these stresses that we're having. Sometimes I tell persons, listen, most of your problems and your stress and anxiety tends to be listening to all kinds of things. Every WhatsApp is a bombardment of a negative. Every television show, every talk show is a bombardment of negativity. Take it off. Relax, revitalize yourself, get back your body in tune, because you can tell me it's not affecting you, but by the way you are behaving and reacting and the statements and comments that I have been seeing and hearing, I know it is affecting you. So you need to find your space, get on your products, drink your inner 7 to calm and relax you. It also improves intestinal transit, meaning it absorbs, water to the colon, because there's where most of your blood vessels are. When you digest, the foods come back into the large intestines and absorbs back through the villi. Some little, they call them little digestion tubes in the small intestines. And that is what absorbs back the nutrients to filter it all through the body. That's how nutrition works within the system. And when you eat food, digest. So if it is toxic, what you tend to happen, you will be absorbing back toxic in your bloodstream, only circulating over and over. And you will be non-healthier, and you will be the wiser, because it needs to be cleaned, right? And it also provides all these essential minerals for the body, as I've been saying. So folks, you need to be on your fantastic 4. Back over to you, Nurse Donnelly, Master Clive.
Okay.
All right. King Clive,
Yes.
the man of the hour. Only you King Kasaki, right? Only you want. Do it the way you do it.
Well. Give me King Asaki or I die. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the product of products. What is happening is that the human cells are behaving like bullies. When you're at school and you're up on the play field, that big girl or that big boy always want most of the ball and most of the attention and most of the cricket bat to hit the ball over the place. So the human cells, because we are 1,000 times larger than the microbial cells, we are like bullies. We don't regard no other cells in the body, and we want to get rid of them. But here's the surprise. Bacteria can live without us, but we can't live without bacteria. So when we use science now to try to get rid of them, that same science is telling us you're making a big mistake. You're cutting your nose to spite your face, as people would say. We are now realizing the importance of microbes. These Japanese scientists have discovered this from in the 1970s and 80s. And that is why they have made a product like Asaki along with the other 3 products in the system, utilizing what you call Bovia, a proprietary technology, a revolutionary formula that contains 596 different metabolites from cacao, and it balances intestinal flora and generate new nutrients. You see, ladies and gentlemen, only bacteria have certain types of enzyme to break down our food by the process of fermentation. And what this company, Sankey Global, is ingenious to do is to mimic the human gut, all the way down to utilizing the bacteria to ferment the food. So when you get a product like this with metabolites, metabolites are what the microbes make at the end stage of digestion. So when you give your body metabolites, this comes bacteria friendly already. Bacteria, now if I go into the kitchen, go cook. Bacteria is like getting breakfast in bed. This is ready made. Ladies and gentlemen, all the cells in the human body are fed, because at Sankey Global, we recognize bacteria. We recognize all the members of the microbiome party, and we feed them. And that is why this product is so useful to the body, in that it restores the gut microbiota. And with the gut microbiota be restored, it will now fix back the gut that is leaking, and also deals with and speak to all the diseases of the gastrointestinal tract: Crohn's disease, celiac disease, diverticulitis, irritable bowel syndrome, gas, bloating, upset stomach, acid reflux, ulcers, and you can name all the other different conditions, because most of the reasons why people go doctor and pharmacy is some gastrointestinal related disorders. And they don't get the message. You have to fix the gut. And the way to fix the gut is to fix the microbiome and make all the cells in your body happy. That is why Sankey Global has made a product like Asaki to balance the intestinal flora, to generate new nutrients and nourish the microbiota. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you are a good candidate to benefit from the Sankey products. Because quite likely you have a damaged gut, because the microbiome is damaged. Because first of all, many of us will admit, really and truly, Brother Clive, I didn't realize that I really have a microbiome. So therefore, me did just eat any and anyhow. Me did just live to eat instead of eat to live. So many of us will admit that we did not take care of it, because we didn't know that it's there. But now that we know that we have it, we live like a pregnant woman. But unlike a pregnant woman that might just be living to feed 1 or 2 feet of the fetus going inside, we are living for 100 trillion. We have to feed 100 trillion microbes in the body. And that is why this product is so powerful, because it feeds all the 100 trillion microbes along with the cells of the human body also. And that is why there is harmony, there is peace, and there no need to be any war and turmoil in the body, because all the cells are at the banquet table, and all of them are being made accommodated for. So ladies and gentlemen, it improves protein absorption by 20%. This product is not normal, because we need to absorb protein, and the body needs protein for certain metabolic function. It increases the oxidation of fat. So just like some of the other products, the overlapping features, because guess what? It is fat is causing a large problem in our body. Even for people who are slim, there's a thing called tofu. Thin on the outside, but fat on the inside. Tofu. Thin on the outside, but fat on the inside. Slim on the outside, but the fat can still circulate your heart and the important organs in your body. So don't fool yourself because you're looking slim means that you're healthy. We say slim people and fat people and obese people dying at the same rate. So slimness don't give you any excuse not to eat healthily. So it burns fat from unwanted, unnecessary places. It sustains proper weight management. Because when you begin to attract a commensal mycelium, that bacteria is what control the weight management section of your body. It's not you're going to gym and diet until you get anorexia. No, it is that particular bacteria, Akkermansia mycelium, that controls your weight. And also, this product provides vital energy to what? The trillions of mitochondria, that is 70% of the dry weight of your body. The mitochondria that runs the metabolism of the cell. Ladies and gentlemen, so here is a product that we need from like yesterday. And I encourage everybody on this call, in all you're getting, get the Asaki, get the Bellage. And whenever I'm drinking Asaki, I pull a Bellage and throw it in it and drink it. Sometimes I put one of the inner 7 in it, because I know that at 60 years old, a lot of water has flown under the bridge. A lot of damage is taking place. Something in the body plug out, something turned off, something turned down, something is about to break. And just in case, as a stitching time that save 9 product, we take the Asaki that revive, rebuild, reverse, recover, and restore. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the gut builder, and you need it every day in your life. Back over to you, Queen Adelaide.
Wow, 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 wow. Look here, tomorrow night, you better say how you drink that. You better say how you drink that now.
Tell him tomorrow.
I was right here just waiting on that, man. But anyway, since y'all bring up my baby, King Canoe. Hiya, my baby.
You mean Queen Canoe?
Yeah, good. Queen.
Queen Canoe.
Queen. This is
Yes,
my
the
baby.
queen.
This is my baby. And this should be your baby too. Look here. The queen is out. The queen is front stage. And the queen is showing you how to sleep. All right. Now, the Canoe Fire is, if you're suffering from insomnia and you need to sleep, this is the product to be drinking. Some of you on the line, you say, look, I don't need nothing to sleep. Every night I go to bed and I sleep well. Look here. I'm going to give you a rude awakening. Some of us may say we went to bed and we slept 7 to 8 hours. You slept 7 to 8 hours, but you still get up. You're cranky, you're moody, you're tired, your joints are cracking, your back aching, your head spinning, your stomach upset. Why? Because you didn't go through the stages of sleep, neither the cycles. All right? Canoe Fire will put you through the stages of sleep. And those stages of sleep, which is 4 to 5 stages, some scientists say 4, some scientists say 5. But those stages are supposed to be cycled at least 4 to 6 times at night. Some of y'all don't even mind, some of y'all don't even go through half that cycle. That's why half of us are sick. Why? Because in the 3rd to 4th cycle, the body repairs itself. Yeah, some of y'all who don't think y'all need sleep, the body repairs itself. And because some of us sleep with the light on, the TV on, everything on, and all of this disturbs our sleep. And if you're sleeping with the night light on, or the TV light on, or you went to bed using your computer or looking at your phone, guess what? Your SCN clock, which is in the front of the pineal gland, was supposed to produce melatonin, is totally off. So you're not going through the proper sleep cycle. News for you. And some of us, I don't dream. You know I don't dream? Because you don't go through the cycles. Some of y'all never dreamed from y'all was in preschool or primary school. Because your body is not resting. And if your body is not resting, your body is not healing itself. You need to sleep and rest for your body to heal itself. That's why I'm the queen of sleep right now. And Canoe Fire is the queen of sleep. So if you need Yeah, Mama, I see you. I see you. I see you, Mama. Let me tell you something. If you need to sleep, this is the thing for you, canoe fire. Now let's finish. Let's finish talking about this beautiful canoe fire benefits. It increases anti-glycemic activity. Anti-glycemic activity is the burning of sugar and fats, and sorry, sugar and carbohydrates. All right, because carbohydrates turn into fat. The black beans have been shown to have strong anti-glycemic properties that reduce the level of sugar after each meal. It activates thermogenesis. The green tea, the TOG in the green tea increases the capacity to generate heat in the body to eliminate adipose tissues, those fatty tissues, all right? Restore cellular damage. The green tea, rosemary, and olive are recognized for their significant antioxidant activity to combat the effects of free radicals in the body. You know, this is the inspiration of the canoe fire, all right? This is why they made it, because of the metabolic syndrome, and which is caused by the impact of the sugars from the food on the human body, with the intention of reducing its negative influence at the cellular level. That is one of the reasons why they actually made this canoe fire. And according to the World Health Organization, this syndrome attacks about 20 to 30% of men and about the same amount of as women, all right? And the canoe fire activates thermogenesis by generating the heat in the body, helping to decrease the amount of absorption of those bad carbohydrates and sugar that we eat all day, from, as Dr. Franklin said, the Wendy's, the Mickey D's, and all of these, along with eliminating adipose or the fatty tissue. And so, you know, like how earlier Dr. Denise was saying, look here, y'all will go in the bush and get these things and boil in a pot. No, 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 no. See, there's some components to this. The ingredients of the canoe fire are black beans, olive, rosemary, green tea, which reduce the absorption of carbohydrate and sugar. But the technology that they made to when they actually got these ingredients, they, you know, the TOG from the green tea, the ORNR, which is the auxiliary night reset, using an advanced delivery system allows the active ingredients to get where it needs to go. So this is why you can't just go and boil something, you know. The green tea is a the TOG from the green tea is a formula that stimulates thermogenesis, protects the body from oxidative damage, and helps reduce bad cholesterol, LDL. For its production, Sankey Mayer control its own green tea plantation, you know, in Japan. And it's part of Sankey Global's commitment to develop products with the highest quality standards. And so when we look at the ONR in the canoe fire, it contains black bean, olive, rosemary extracts, and helps to reduce the absorption. All right. And so look here. Now, I have some recommendations here. You know, this is how it's to be taken. You dilute 1 sachet in 8 ounces of hot water. And you drink that within 24 hours. You don't let it linger, right? But if you are overweight, take 2 sachets at lunch and dinner. And if you are obese, take 1 sachet at every meal that you take. And it's fine, you know. So here you have it, the canoe fire. So I hope you see how all of these products work hand in hand here at Sankey Global. We have the products just for you. No matter what's going on, we have them here and we are ready to work. Don't go in the bush looking for nothing, because guess what? We have it right here waiting for you, the way how your body needs it to get down to the cells. So I'm going to turn this call over to the king himself, the microbiome guru, AKA Charlie, to close us out. Back to you, King Clyde.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Nurse Adelaide. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming on the call tonight. We recognize those who may have come for the first time. Hope you heard something that for your own self, you might want to use these products or ask more questions. Or if you came with your mom in mind or for a friend to see how it could help someone else, please go back to them and tell them what you heard and see how you can begin to make arrangement from the persons who invited you to this call so you can get these products in your system. Is it in you? That's the most important thing. So once again, I thank you. Just by way of announcement, come tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we will be here again at 7 o'clock, where it will be more like testimonies and questions and answers from the medical team and for the microbiome panel, so that you might have a hands-on thing with in terms of getting some questions answered. Hear some testimonies in terms of how some persons are benefit, because we are speaking quite glowingly, so to speak, about these product system. Are there people who are getting benefit? The answer is yes, yes, and again, yes, so that you may come and hear what are some of those benefits and the testimonials, and there's time for question and answers. But ladies and gentlemen, come Thursday night at Jamaica time, 9 o'clock, and in terms of EST, it is 10 o'clock. We want to be having a very special call. We believe that there are some things that the Bellage in particular is doing, because this program is sponsored by Bellage. So we ask that persons 21 and over, it's PG 21. So we ask that to put the children to bed, so that as adults, you might be able to hear some information that at times we are shy to talk about in other forums. That you might want to ask your pastor to come on, anybody who acts and serves as a counselor in the church or professionally, anybody who is in ministry, any family, any couple, any married couple, any persons plan to get married, or persons who just want to understand how these products work in the body and what it is doing in turning things around and turning things up. This product is now being referred to as the bedroom counselor, so that it is bringing a level of results in the bedroom that the man is feeling like a man again. He doesn't feel emasculated. He feels at the end of the game that he is king. He has performed well. No one is looking down on him. He's not making more excuse than the laws allow. He's performing at his level that he's expected to perform. So if the man is happy, if the lady is happy, the bedroom is happy, then the living room happy, and the kitchen happy, the home is happy, the street is happy, the city is happy, the country is happy. It's a happy world. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a call you don't want to miss. We have experts that will be shining in and will be facilitating levels of discussion that you want to hear about, you need to hear about, so you can move forward more confidently. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to shine in, make plans, no matter what other appointment you have, cancel it. You might want to be, we made it late enough so that everywhere you go, you can reach home in time, and that you can have time to put the young ones to bed, so that it is your time now for us to have big people discussion and really sort out things in the bedroom, so that we can answer some questions. So I think you basically getting the idea, so that you might want to shine in. So, and we take it one day at a time. For Saturday night, Saturday evening, we want to be having a special training for two things, two reasons. I need to talk again to Sir Larry about this. But we want to have some training as it relates to persons who are interested in doing launches. That's the first part of it. We want to do some training on what it means to launch a business, or do a grand opening for your business, or relaunch your business, or whatever the right terminology is. We want you to benefit from it at the beginning of this new period. And also, we want to ask Sir Larry if he could help us to get himself and a professional to teach us about how to build a dream board. What is a dream board? What's the purpose of the dream board, and how to go about constructing a dream board or dream boards. So it's a two-part meeting, and you will get the time as time progresses. But we just want to tell you thanks. Don't want to keep it much longer now for the effort you have made to be on this call tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a movement. We on this call can represent pioneers. We are the ones that God has given the charge to take such an important message of identity back to people, that they may understand themselves, so we may function for who we really are and not for who we are not. We are not human beings. We are super organisms. So we need to understand that. So as we close in prayer, I just ask you just to let us give respect to the Father above. So Lord, we thank you again for tonight. We thank you for the information shared. We thank you for the families represented. Once again, Lord, we ask that you speak to the hearts and the minds and the spirit of persons who feel bruised, even crushed because of what is happening in this period of the pandemic. Help us, Lord. We look to you. Bless us. Help us to sleep well in you. We ask these mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Nurse Donnelly. Thank you, Dr. Pereira. Thank you all for shining in to making this night what it has been.
Night, guys. Great session, Master Clive.
Bless you.
Come here. Come around here. Come here.
Yes, Queen.
Good night, everybody.
folks.
All right.
Good
Have a
night,
good night.
everyone.
Hey, good night.
Queen
guys.
Mama.
Yeah,
Good night.
I need some
Hope
help.
for Thursday.
Okay, good night, young
Good
and
night,
old.
all.
Good night
Good
and
night. Be
Ubuntu, sir.
safe. Be safe.
Ubuntu, good night, and Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Oh boy, bless your soul.
Uncle Clive,
Bless you.
you didn't pray for me after I tell you how I dropped today. How come you
No,
didn't pray for me?
I'm sorry about that. We tell all this pray for you. Yes.
I just open the mic so everybody can say good night. All right, I'm
Special
gonna
hi
close
to
out now,
Queen
guys.
Marva.
You have the director
Queen
on
Marva.
the line.
Good night. Good night. Yes.
Special night.
Trey Han is on the line.
No, that was the right place to drop Marvel. That can take it.
Listen,
Good night,
man.
everyone.
My
Good night,
posterior
all.
is aching.
Night.
I'm going to bed now, Uncle Clive.
Okay, take care. Thank you
Nurse
so
Donnelly
much.
is still on, right? Oh yeah, I'm
Extra
yawning.
for the can recover.
Yeah, I'm watching you. I'm watching you all, man. I'm watching you all.
Oh my God. Good night, Mr. Presley Francis. Thanks for coming, sir.
Okay, Sir
And
Francis.
I hope to see you on Thursday.
Okay. I got on a bit late though, but that's all right.
But don't be late on
As
Thursday,
long
though.
as you're over 21, Mr. Francis.
I think he's 20 and oh my God. Please help me. Oh. Oh God. Anyway, I got some work to do. Oops, I got to go sleep. So that's not still there. I'm not going to work. I'm going to sleep.
No. The first answer is the first answer is always the right one.
Oh my God.
Thank you for coming, Murray, Yvette, Presley, Desmond, Valerie, Paula, Leela. Who else we have here? Rodney, Stephanie, Lily. Thank you guys for coming.
It was nice being here. Thank you for welcoming us and having us.
You're welcome. You're
Have a good night.
welcome.
Queen
Thank you,
Paula.
Yvette. Thank you,
yes,
Liz.
Marva.
Thank you.
Bedtime, Marva.
Queen Marva, long time no talk.
Thank you, Norma.
Okay, don't worry.
Thank you for
We'll get a
coming,
look of
Pandora.
Good night,
Oprah.
I'm Queen Nurse Donnelly, and you know how faithful I am with my sleep, and you know what I'm going to do right after this. I have my canoe fire already.
Barbara,
Yes, dear.
you're trying to impress Nurse Donnelly?
Yes. I'm sucking up. Let the truth be known. I'm sucking up. You know, but don't you know? She watches me. She'll go on WhatsApp to see if I'm on. You know, she
Okay.
does those things to me, and then she'll send me a message.
Okay.
Marva, you're still up. But do you know if you leave your WhatsApp on, it looks like you're there, but you're not really there?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, just a thought. Just a thought, Nurse Donnelly. Just a thought.
You sound like my kids. You sound like my kids. Don't do it.
Oh, man. I can't win for losing, eh?
My kids already tried that line. My kids tried that line, you know?
Oh, boy. I tell you.
Oh,
Anyway,
boy.
I'm gonna end the chat here because I don't want Nurse Donnelly to think I'm trying to find a reason to stay awake.
Good
Right?
night, everyone, and go through your stages and your cycles of sleep tonight.
Good night. Nurse Donnelly, you see what happened to me? I dreamt last night. I dreamt that I was bathing, and I got up this morning, take a shower, and I fell.
Say what?
No.
So what was that?
You dreamt and you got up this morning.
I dreamt that I was bathing. So when I got up this morning to take my shower, all's good. I'm stepping out, and I fell. I don't know how I slipped, and I fell outside, but I fell on the side of the tub and hit my butt real hard. Real hard.
You got it checked out? You got it checked out?
No, I'm checking it out myself. I'm feeling it to see if nothing is broken.
Make sure they don't give you any antibiotic for that.
Hi.
No.
Those are words we don't use around here.
No antibiotics.
Where's King Clive to hear you say it?
I know if you were home in Jamaica, the old people tell us they go soak in some salt water, go in the sea.
Hey. And after sap, and it's sapping. I'll be fine. It's just my ego wearing a band-aid now. But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, but I'll remember you in my prayers tonight, hon.
Okay, thank you very much. That's better than what King Clive is. You know, he's only gonna tell me, hush.
Oh my Lord! Don't talk about King Clive like that. No, I want to allow you.
I'm telling you, I'm not a hush. I'm not a hush. I get.
So much of a gentleman and a king for that.
I'm gonna get some hush tonight. I'll forward the text message to you when he says hush, hush, my dear, hush. Okay, I'll tell you. You won't even cry a little bit for me, you know.
Oh,
He won't even shed a little tear. Nothing. You know, but it's okay. One of these days, I'll make him cry in front of me to make sure that he's really crying.
Oh,
all right, I'm gonna end the call now.
Let's end the call now. So good night, everyone. God bless each and every one of you, and thank you for